What are you doing here, dear Roland?
Jerome is a young man of formidable convictions.
Indeed. He took the fate of his people in his hands and fought for their freedom.
Just as you have done.
I did what any lord would do to protect the sovereignty of their land, nothing more. I will not see the Roselle stripped of their humanity and treated as objects.
Hyzant's goddess has always seen them as such.
History has ever seen the strong rule the weak, but that does not mean it must always be so.
I do not mean to excuse it. Rather, I see now that this village and all of House Wolford suffers because of the royal family's impotence.
That's not...
I speak the truth, and you know it. Cordelia and the people of Glenbrook cry for aid as we speak. Yet here I sit, cowering behind a mask and a false name. Who dare call me a leader?
Serenoa, making a valiant stand in defense of the Rosellan village, slays Silvio Tellior. Word of their disobedience reaches the Holy One, who sends an army to conquer the heretics. With the enemy only a day's march from their doorstep, House Wolford and the Roselle scramble to mount one last stand. Time is of the essence.
That should do it. You should be able to use that arm just fine in no time.
Many thanks, lad. You truly are a talented one. My apologies for treating you like an intruder the other day.
Think nothing of it, my good man. If you need anything else, I'm more than happy to help.
Your magic never ceases to amaze. Did you learn everything from your grandfather?
You bet I did. The Archmage Grandante taught me everything I know.
Grandante. There's something I've been meaning to ask you, Narv.
Ask away.
I was in Hyzant for a short time, studying at the Ministry. No doubt you know it's considered the greatest authority in this world when it comes to matters arcane. Their library contains everything from records of magically enhanced soldiers to technical tomes and much, much more. Their chronicles on the history of magic, too, were the most comprehensive in our realm. And yet, I do not recall seeing even a single mention of a mage named Grandante. One would think the achievements of such a powerful sorcerer would be recorded somewhere. Why are they not?
Those awful Hyzantians. Truly, they have no shame.
Narv?
The chronicles you speak of? In truth, they were written by my grandfather's own hand.
What? But then why is he not credited by name?
He refused to do the research the former Hierophant ordered of him, and was branded a heretic and unbeliever. They erased his name and achievements from the records, and made it like he never existed at all. He was then banished from the city and died in exile, his name all but forgotten. It's all their fault no one knows of the Archmage Grandante.
I had no idea.
These robes I wear were once his. They're the only remaining proof that he once walked this realm.
So you carry his memory with you everywhere you go.
I promised myself I would make the Archmage Grandante's name known around the world. So I'm going to work harder than I've ever worked before, until all in the realm know his story. And in the process, I'll become the greatest mage this world has ever seen.
That's the spirit.
Thanks, Gila. Just you watch, Grandfather. I'm going to make you proud.
Master Archibald, is there something on your mind?
Goddess be good. I must be getting on in years for you to be able to sneak up on me like that.
What troubles you?
I was only reminiscing. Windy days like these tend to blow my mind back a couple of decades or more.
Reminiscing about what?
The Salt Iron War. Hard to believe it's been 30 whole years. Some days I almost forget my time as one of the Saintly Seven. I defended the Citadel of Sand through the conflict. I was there when Esfrost attacked. A number of Rosellan prisoners who tried to escape the Source were there too, including Our Lady Frederica's dear mother.
What's this?
She stayed behind all by herself to help the countless numbers of her fellow Roselle flee. That's how she was captured. But I knew we couldn't hold the Citadel. So I helped her and her friends escape in secret before the enemy attacked. The wind blew just as hard that night as it's blowing now. I'll never forget watching the Roselle, caked all over in mud as they slipped away into the dark.
So you didn't want innocents to get caught up in the coming battle?
It never settled right with me. The way the goddess's teachings permitted abuse of the Roselle for the supposed sins of their past. A person's life isn't worth more or less just because of the conditions of their birth. But more than anything, I was moved by the selfless acts of Lady Frederica's mother. She reminded me of what I had once aspired to be. She was able to do what I never could. Risk her life to save her friends. I couldn't let someone like that die. Not on my watch. It wasn't long until the other Saintly Seven discovered what I'd done. They branded me a traitor, stripped me of my title, and sentenced me to death. Of course, I slipped out of their clutches before they could have my head. I wandered for a while before taking up life as a merchant under the King of Glenbrook's patronage.
I never knew you and Lady Frederica's mother shared such a past.
Well, it is in the past. Anyway, let us return. This cold night wind is making my old bones ache something fierce.
So that's the size of it. House Wolfford has gone to such great lengths for us.
It was our decision and ours alone. Your people brought nothing upon us.
It is as Serenoa says. We are happy to do all that we can to protect you.
Forgive me, Lady Frederica, but your mother was Lady Orlea, was she not? You came to our rescue just as she did. I cannot help but feel 'twas fated to be so.
You knew my mother?
Where did you hear of this, Jerome? I've told you not a whit about her.
I overheard whispers between my mother and father long ago. Why would the elders labor to keep such information secret?
Well, truth be told, we feared being persecuted anew.
And so your greatest fears have come true. Pray, hide no longer, and tell Lady Frederica what you know.
You know the history of Hyzant's oppression of the Roselle, yes? Then you know of the Rosellan revolt that occurred 30 years ago. Your mother, Lady Orlea, led that uprising at the source. She led us to freedom from Hyzant's rule, here to the Wolfford domain. She was a woman of great courage. She even left a sizable gash upon the goddess's statue as we departed.
The statue that stands tall in the source. I've never heard tell of this gash.
I reckon not. Hyzant would never admit to such a thing. But we, Roselle, know the truth.
I had no idea my mother was involved with the revolt, let alone led it.
And it was my father who gave them this land to settle.
That he did. Lady Orlea, for her part, vowed to fight on, to liberate those who remained in Hyzant. The rest of us, battered and bruised in the escape, parted ways with her, and remained here to live out our days in peace.
And so she eventually found her way to Esfrost, where she was taken in. I thank you for sharing such a wonderful chapter of my mother's history.
I hear she rallied the people to her cause with these words. The Holy State's teachings are false. The goddess's blessing spread across all Norzelia. The blessing of the true goddess. The blessing that shall be the key to the chains that bind our people.
How much of this have you heard?
Hold. I beg you, recite those words once more.
The Holy State's teachings are false. The goddess's blessings spread across all Norzelia. The blessing of the true goddess. The blessing that shall be the key to the chains that bind our people.
So there exists a key that gives the lie to the goddess's teachings. With that in hand, we can yet confront Hyzant.
Pray tell, good elder, what might it look like?
Alas, I fear I do not know.
I know not to what they were referring, but my parents always said Lady Orlea left it in this village.
Then the key is here. Jerome, please. We would speak with your parents at once.
I'm afraid that's not possible. They both passed many moons ago.
We must find this key, Lord Serenoa. I know it sounds like a fool's errand, but I feel we have no other choice.
I agree. 'Tis a slight hope, but hope nonetheless. Let the search begin.